Nearly everybody has experienced those days where you didn't get enough sleep. But what happens is that after a few hours of sleep, after a proper night's rest, then you feel recharged, you feel energized, you feel like you are ready to take on the tasks of the day. You're feeling alert, you're focused, you're everything. But then what happens when this is your life? You are no longer feeling focused. You're no longer feeling alert. You are always tired and sleepy. You can't seem to focus. You can't seem to pay attention to anything. You might be suffering from idiopathic hypersomnia. If that has never occurred to you, then listen up because it might be something that you are currently facing. And if you need some more information about it, we have Jan Daniel Ace, who is the founder of Arkel Sleep Health and who has also been helping us with sharing information about different sleeping disorders or sleeping diseases. A good morning, JD.
Hello, Mariam. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself.
Good, thank you.
Thank you for joining me once again.
Fantastic.
All
Okay.
right, so please define what idiopathic hypersomnia is.
Mariam, all our sleep conditions are mainly divided into three separate areas. We get the hyposomnias, which means that people, sleep less than the allocated hours, like insomnia-related incidents. Then we get the parasomnias, which includes your sleep paralysis, which we spoke about earlier. It includes your sleep eaters, your sleep walkers, night terrors, etc. And then we get the hypersomnias. The hypersomnia is basically when people feel the need to sleep too much, in excess of 9 or 10 hours per night.
Hmm. Is that healthy for a person's development? Because I mean, we've been told that we need to sleep at least 8 hours a day for proper function and to grow. So of course, it's good for kids to sleep for 9 or 10 hours. But what about adults?
Adult sleep. Sorry, I just gotta. Let me just
All right,
this
I'll give you a moment there.
just a minute.
All right. Okay, we are chatting to Jan Daniel Ace, the founder of Arkel Sleep Health, and we are talking about idiopathic hypersomnia today. If you have any comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, you can send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 Alternatively, you can give us a call in studio on the 010 yes, JD, thank you for joining us, or thank you for
Sorry,
staying with us.
sorry
Yeah.
about that. So to get back to your question, kids should sleep about 9 or 10, depending on the age, up to 12 hours for infants and so forth. But if adults sleep more than 9 or 10 hours a day, it basically tells me as a clinician that there is something wrong. Now,
Mhm.
you mentioned idiopathic insomnia, which also means idiopathic hypersomnolence, which basically means primary hypersomnia. And that basically means that there's no original cause for
Mm.
people to sleep longer. But in most cases, the cause of hypersomnolence has a comorbidity. In other words, it's usually caused by some other condition, a secondary conditions that cause people to sleep more than the allocated 8 or 9 hours. A very important thing here is we see a hypersomniac person as somebody who cannot carry out their productivity during the day.
Mhm.
So they feel the need to sleep too long or so long that it influences their productivity and their responsibilities during daytime.
Mhm. All right.
So
So
yeah.
since there is no known causes for it, how do you know if you have idiopathic hypersomnia?
If you sleep longer than 9 or 10 hours per night and you still do not feel rested, if you still
Mm.
feel the need, what I said earlier is you cannot carry on with your daily activities. It is not narcolepsy. Narcolepsy
Mm.
is a neurological condition where people uncontrollably fall asleep. With hypersomnia, you still have control over you falling asleep. You're just so fatigued that you start to lose concentration, you start to feel depressed, and feel that you cannot carry on with your daily activities. The way we diagnose it in the medical sense is, first of all, we can send a person for a sleep study, a polysomnogram, to determine if there's not an underlying cause. I want to talk about the causes because that's the most prevalent ones. And
Mhm.
then we also do also a sleep study in a sleep lab, which we call this multiple sleep latency test. That's another way of diagnosing hypersomnia. The other one is by a questionnaire that we call the Epworth Sleepiness Scale, which basically is a questionnaire that tells us how fatigued a person is. The fourth very important one is then by means of a sleep diary. Sleep diaries are very reliable in terms of telling us as clinicians what behavior the person has before he goes to sleep and when he wakes up at night, etc., in identifying hypersomnia as well.
Mhm. Okay, so how common is it?
It's quite common, specifically with the comorbidities or the co-conditions that associated with hypersomnia. Hypersomnia is not only idiopathic or primary hypersomnia is a condition, and that's not
Mhm.
very prevalent. Usually, there is a comorbidity or a secondary cause of the hypersomnia, which by far we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. The big culprit is sleep apnea
Mhm.
or sleep breathing disorders. The others include maybe restless leg syndrome, and periodic limb movement, sleep deprivation, where people hasn't slept for a couple of days well, and then they can become hypersomniac where they need to sleep longer.
Mhm.
Depression, and also very importantly, I heard earlier that you're going to have an interview with a person who's going to talk about codeine dependency. And that's a
Yeah.
big thing in hypersomnia. It's a drug and medication. Alcohol can also cause hypersomnia.
Hmm. So, can one develop this through their adult life, through any time of their life, or is it something that you are born with?
It is usually something that idiopathic hypersomnia is very little when you are born with it. It usually
Mm.
develops due to some behavior. Um, that causes it. You can be born with it, but it's not very prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
Another condition that also also classified as a hypersomnia, it's not very well known. We call it the Klein-Levin syndrome, also called the Sleeping Beauty syndrome, is where people sometimes during a course of a year sleep excessively longer than about 20 hours. They sleep excessively long. It's usually more prevalent under male adolescent males, young males, and
Mm-hmm.
it's also it's a neurological condition. So in that case, they can born with it, but usually as time goes by, they grow out of it. It's not very prevalent as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, JD, please stay on the line with us. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll continue when we return.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you.
For their quality Islamic wear and goods, IG Hussein and Company stock a variety of Islamic items, musallas, kitabs, Medina dates, perfumes and exclusive gifts. We guarantee you a unique and friendly shopping experience for the entire family. Visit our new branch in Overport at 202 Kenilworth Park, Brickfield Road. Open 7 days a week with ample parking and wheelchair friendly. Like us on Facebook or Instagram at IG Hussein for our latest promotions and updates. IG Hussein and Company, your Islamic lifestyle.
Fabric Direct, now open at 224 Brickfield Road, Overport, Durban, offering you a variety of dress fabrics, curtaining, upholstery, wallpaper, and deco. Fabric Direct, Quality, price, and a range that speaks for itself. 224 Brickfield Road, Overport, Durban. Fabric Direct, definitely worth a visit.
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet many children go to school hungry because of poverty. Penny Appeal's Breakfast Club aim to get a warm, hearty meal to underprivileged children so they can spend the day prospering in their schoolwork. Help feed a needy learner by visiting our website on www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573 to find out how you can donate. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media.
لا تقل لوحدي أو كيف السبيل.
Humanity sets the agenda.
تصنع المستحيل.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Mario Mukonda Show on Salam Media, and we are talking about idiopathic hypersomnia, which is a sleep disorder in which a person is excessively sleeping during the day and has great difficulty being awakened from their sleep. If you have any comments, questions, queries, or suggestions regarding this topic, please send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061-766-0355. Alternatively, you can leave them in the comments section below. We are live on Facebook. And if you feel like calling us in studio, the number is 010-880-2396. And I'm chatting to Jan Daniel Ace, the founder of Arkel Sleep Health. JD, thank you for staying on the line. So because it's a not very common disease, is there a cure or treatment for it?
Yes, there is several cures. The number one cure for idiopathic insomnia is then to try to determine an underlying cause, like I said earlier, type of underlying cause. If it's then after, if there's no underlying cause, like sleep apnea or depression or anything like that, then it's really idiopathic or primary hypersomnolence. Then the person, if he can just sleep the allocated hours that he needs to feel refreshed, or then central nervous system stimulants can also help. Like your typical Red Bulls, although it's a bit unhealthy, but sometimes people are prescribed Ritalin or Concerta or anything like that. But there is medication that can help, which is not ideal. It's not ideal, but that's what we have currently with the technology we have to deal with it.
Usually when we are struggling to get a good night's rest, we're usually encouraged to have a routine, a bedtime routine. So are there any or home remedies or simple, inexpensive methods that we can adopt if we have idiopathic hypersomnia?
Obviously, to keep to a specific routine and to sleep the allocated hours. The problem with hypersomnia is you need more than 8 or 10 hours to sleep. That is key. And sometimes people don't have the time to sleep for that long. But if you can sleep the allocated time, and a good bedtime routine is very important. For instance, stick to a set bedtime where you go to bed at a certain time and get up at a certain time, which is stick to those times. Other things include, ironically, take a hot bath before you go to sleep, to help you fall asleep, and then also exercise. Exercise is also quite important. But good sleep behavior is important. It can help a bit, but it won't take the hypersomnia away. But it is very important, because when we finally cure it, or when people grow out of hypersomnia, or by some miracle we do diagnose a cause of it, then it's always good to have a good bedtime routine, whether you have hypersomnia or not.
Mm-hmm. Or I'm trying to figure out how do people with hypersomnia function during the
Yeah,
day at work or at
yeah.
school, because this
It is
something that
it
is
it
quite
is a
challenging.
problem. It is
Yeah.
a problem, but luckily hypersomnia or idiopathic or primary hypersomnia is not very prevalent. If someone suffers from it, then the best way is to keep a routine and sleep the allocated hours. It is very difficult to deal with, but in most cases, we will keep on. Me as a clinician, I will always keep on looking for a cause because there must be an underlying cause somewhere. It's
Mm-hmm.
very scarce that it is really idiopathic or primary. It's not very prevalent.
Mm-hmm. All
I will
right.
still keep on looking for underlying cause.
All right. Please share your contact details with our audience, just in case somebody might be
Okay.
experiencing a sleep disorder.
Okay, they can send me an email on info at Arkel Sleep Health Consulting or arkelshc.com. So it's info at Arkel, ARKEL, at, sorry, arkelshc.com. And then I can also phone me on 082 560 6872. Leave a message. If I don't answer, I'll call back.
Thank you so much for your time and for the knowledge that you're always willing to share with us.
Thanks, Miriam.
Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye to you and your listeners.
That was Jan Daniel Ace, the founder of Arkel Sleep Health. If you'd like to send him a message, if you'd like to know more about sleeping disorders, perhaps you might be experiencing a sleeping disorder like hypersomnia or parasomnia or insomnia, you can send an email to info at Arkel SHC. That's ARKEL shc.com, or you can give him a call on 0825606872. You are listening to the Mari Mukonda Show on Salam Media. Do stay with us. We will be right back after this.